On to the 8th on the programme. Race number 8 is a Class 3 contest. Straight 1,000-metre dash with a few first starters, some interesting ones. My Little Friend back into Class 3 company. Patriotism just his second start. Montreal on debut. He's 3 out of 4 in Australia. Diamond Ryan makes his Hong Kong debut as well. Refined Treasure's won his last 2 starts. Cool Team. Hong Kong debut. 3 from 9 in the UK. Alkari, third course and distance last start behind Wei Feng Vinny. Victor Wong takes £10 off. Amazing Star. Super Rich goes straight up in class after a last start win on debut, and Very Rich Man from barrier 5, he likes to roll.
This is good quality Class 3. There's lots of pace here, potentially fast. Montreal's got good speed. So too has Diamond Rhyme. There's probably not expected pace from Cool Team, who won his final 2 races on the Te Peter and Poly track before coming to Hong Kong. That's the situation of the newcomers. Then you've got Very Rich Man, Amazing Star, Refined Treasure, Super Rich that have all got pace.
He's Alkari. He's won down the straight 1,000 before as well. And he's only had 2 starts down it. He's just working with Bo Duke on the inside there, but Alkari's going along nicely. He's coming back from, well, he's had 1 start there at Sha Tin recently behind Wei Feng Vinny, which wasn't bad. Amazing Star, as you mentioned, he gets this £10 claim. He goes nicely. He's dropped 22 odd pounds, so he's going to be a pretty fit horse coming into this particular contest as well. Another one that's going to be up there forward, but he did win over 1,200. And here's Super Rich. You can see just nodding his head as he comes down. He's keen, this horse, wants to get on with it, and he'll be second up, and he was an impressive debut runner as well. So, yeah, as you mentioned, it's a good race, this one.
Certainly is. We'll have a look at Super Rich in a moment. We'll start off, though, with Refined Treasure, who's arguably unlucky not to be unbeaten. He was beaten on debut with excuses, but he's won his next 2 starts impressively.
It's a good point you make, Andrew, because had he have been going into this race with 3 wins underneath his belt, he'd still be in the grade, and I reckon he'd be starting even money favourite. This is a very polished performance. Paul, you've been clearly one of his biggest fans. The rail there, as we can see, the false rail's in position. It'll be the same there on Sunday. And I'm actually going to tip him because I think barrier 2 might not be a negative. He can at least get clear running. There's not going to be any congestion issues for him.
I still think he's better than Class 3. I think he'll go to Class 1, this horse. So he's dropped 12 pounds, which is just an interesting thing there. But, look, if he does that, I think he'll win again. Yeah, I like the horse.
All right, Super Rich is unbeaten because he's had 1 start, but that was in Class 4. He's straight into Class 3. He's come up with barrier 11.
Look, he's got plenty of ability, this horse. I think this is the hardest horse for the Refined Treasure to beat. Second up worries me a little bit. He's got barrier 11, which is OK, and he can get a nice run behind the pace. So I think he'll run well again, but I just think with the experience Refined Treasure's had, he'll beat him.
He ran 56.9, Refined Treasure ran 56.5, so there's, 4 tenths between them on the clock, different days. He comes in with a lot less weight to carry, as opposed to Refined Treasure, who's obviously lighter in as well. But nice horse too going forward.
All right. Another nice horse probably going forward as well is Montreal on debut. Let's hear from trainer Casper Founds.
Casper, Montreal has his first run for you, former Australian horse. How's his preparation been leading into Sunday?
Yeah, he's had a decent prep. He's a big, heavy horse. His trial was very pleasing. Gave him a jump out in the grass yesterday morning and he went good. Yeah, in an ideal world, I'd love to have given him another trial because he's a big, heavy horse. But I think he's done enough to run a very competitive race first up.
What are your impressions of him as a horse?
He's a good-looking horse, big, strong boy. He's drawn on the right part of the track, so he gets his chance that way. Obviously, you've got Mr. Millard's horse in there that goes really good, But, yeah, my horse, I'm sure he'll run well first up and he'll be even better on after this race.
Tactically, just looking at that trial as well, too, he looks like he's got good early speed.
He'll make his own luck, for sure. He's got the right gait and he'll be up there on the outside, out of trouble.
A lot of respect there for Mr. Millard and Refined Treasure from Casper. Let's move on to Amazing Star. He was beaten by Alkari on debut, got his own back over the 1,200 metres. He's been off the track, though, since January.
The day he won, Andrew, that restricted Class 4 back in November, he reeled off a 1:8.9 1,200-metre time, which is very fast for a young horse. He's had some lameness issues, some setbacks, some bone problems, so there's been a fair time off for a fairly good reason. He's got a very light weight here for Victor Wong, and the trials leading in suggest that he has overcome those issues quite well.
Yeah, he's dropped that little bit of weight. The bone issues don't worry me as much as muscles, because bones can heal 100%. So I've got him in the numbers.
All right, Diamond Rhyme on debut. Was a dual winner in WA.
Yep, he's had 4 trials so far, 1,049 pounds. He's another Sebring horse. He has won over the 1,100 before, but look, I don't think he's quite ready.
No, I was happy to sit on the fence. That wasn't a bad trial at all.
Yeah.
Looks like a bit of a pony, really, so I'll be interested to see what Jenny says about him there in the paddock.
All right, cool team, the last of the debutants. Won his last 2, as Brett said, though, on the synthetic surface. Only out of the top 3 once in 9 starts in the UK. Yeah,
look, he's at 1,019, so he's come in quite light. He's had the 3 trials here, but look, all his wins and races have been over a lot longer than this. You know, 1,600 metres, 1,600 metres. I'll wait till he gets 1,650 on the dirt, I think.
Not a bad trial. Yeah. Paul O'Sullivan's only 1 away from his 400th winner here in Hong Kong. I'd be surprised if it came from Cool Team, but judged by the name, it might be an Omen tip.
There you go, 4-year-old by Tame Years. But our favourite, Paul, Refined Treasure, on top for you.
Yes, yep, Refined Treasure, I think, as I say, I think he's got rating points in hand and he's going nicely enough. Super Rich, I quite like him. Amazing Star with that really light weight comes in. I tossed up between Montreal and Alcari. I went for Alcari because Montreal had blinkers on when he won his races in Australia, and he's only had that 1,800 metre trial. So I think he'll improve and he'll be a nice horse here. But in the end, I eventually left him out. I went 5, 13, 11 and 8, but like the 5.
Yep, same here. And I'm not worried about the gate. I think even in the middle part of the track, it's, you know, not seen as much of a disadvantage when that rail is out in the false position. So Refined Treasure, Super Rich, Amazing Star. I've got Montreal in, but I'm a bit like Paul. I think the one soft trial might not be enough to suggest he can win this. Casper did say he's a big type of horse, so he may need a run or 2, but he looks to be decent enough.
Yeah, I've got a lot of respect for Montreal, but Refined Treasure will take the world of beating here in race number 8. Still 3 more races to come. The 9th is a really good one as well. We'll be back right after this to have a look.